Hi, Leo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your July 2022 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, this is the month of your solar return. This is true every year, but you also have a new moon in July, and that's not true every year. So, that is one of the things that is unique to 2022 compared to some of the other years. So you have an early degree new moon at the end of July. Let's start at the beginning. So as the month begins, the sun is in your 12th house. So this is the hibernation area that we refer to as the end of an old cycle. You're getting poised for the sun to cross over into your first house. And obviously, the degree of your rising sign will determine exactly when that happens, or the degree of your sun sign. So these dates that I'm giving are for a general forecast, not necessarily your time. So if you would like a personal reading, the link is below, and you'd like to look at the transits, some of the important transits of the upcoming year. But this is all about your general forecast. And the 12th house is the house of Pisces in the universal chart, but it's going to, no matter what sign rules your 12th house, you're still going to have those same themes. So it could be a situation where every June and July, or late June and into July, you naturally go more within yourself and you become more contemplative, because of course Leo is a very extroverted sign, so it's not like most of you are going to be like that all the time, but it might be at this particular time of the year that you tend to get like that. And this can also be in terms of retreating. In the Northern Hemisphere, this is our summer period, so there's a lot of holidays, or, people taking vacations. And for you, you might find yourself drawn to a retreat center. And it doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. It could be something like a little cabin in the woods that is, has like a guided program, or it might be something more ornate. I don't know, but something, I think, like with the 12th house, I think about what kind of environment did monks live in? Probably very Spartan, not very like a spa or anything like that. It's all about going within, so you don't need some of those bells and whistles. But anyway, on the 5th of the month, Mars goes into Taurus, and Taurus is a fixed sign like you, so it's going to be in an angular house. In this case, this is your career sector, so wow. This could get you into high gear as it pertains to career. On the challenging side, there could be some kind of conflict with authority figures. Leo is a sign that is a natural leader. However, that doesn't mean that all Leo people work for themselves or are even leaders. You just have that natural ability. But even if you work for somebody else, you might tend to gravitate towards a position of authority as your natural birthright. However, if you are working for someone else, you may have different ideas on how to do things, and that's where the clash could come in. But it doesn't have to be that way. It might just be that you're extra ambitious, or maybe you're really striving to advance in your career for some reason. Like, this is a time when you're just really feeling that urge to go for it. Remember that Uranus is also transiting through Taurus, has been for a few years. So because Leo is a fixed sign, you may, when Uranus is in your 10th house, you may get a little bit nervous because Uranus can throw some curveballs your way. You may be in a profession that is on the way out, and it's like kind of, when I say on the way out, let's say you work for a newspaper, and newspapers are having a lot of trouble with circulation numbers and just keeping readership. It doesn't mean that they have become extinct. They've been predicted to become extinct for many years, but they still are struggling in certain areas. Well, there can be innovations in these areas, which newspapers have done, to try to stem the downward slide. And so the same thing with the banking industry, where I haven't seen it lately, but there was a time when it seemed like it was quite commonplace for banks to be swallowed up by other banks. And sometimes if a person has spent many years in that particular sector, they may find it hard to transition into something else because it's all they know. They're very comfortable in that field. And because you're a fixed sign, you may be a little bit inflexible. You may just want to have that familiarity. And yet, we are in exceptional times right now. It isn't about that kind of being in that safe space necessarily and the comfort zone. It's about all bets are off. And so Uranus in your 10th house is giving you the desire for more freedom too. So this could be like you balking at some kind of expectations from your boss about what you're supposed to do. This is also with Uranus about technology in your career. So maybe you are working from home and they are trying to get you to come into the office. This is something that, since the shutdown ended, there have been conflicts within companies about what to do now. And some of these companies have said, you got to come back in, because they didn't have enough control over their workers. And the workers were like, I'm more productive when I'm at home, when I'm on the computer, than when I'm in person. And they want to stay at home. So there could be something around these issues that come into play. Remember that you can be assertive rather than aggressive. Mars tends to be the bull in the china shop. That is just like trying to get its own way, but is not very skillful at it. And the fact that Mars is in Taurus really ups the ante when it comes to stubbornness. This is a bulldozing type of energy, and so being able to be flexible, even if it's not something that comes natural to you or naturally to you, is something that will kind of neutralize any negative effects of Mars in the 10th. On the same day, Mercury goes into Cancer, and so there it is in that 12th house. It's not the best time to be trying to communicate in a very clear way. The mind is in a different realm, actually. It's not interested in practical matters. It's highly intuitive. Your dream state could be heightened in terms of, the messages that are coming through. Maybe Mercury is about messages. So in the dream time, this may be when you get some messages. So if you find that you are having more dreams and they're more vivid, maybe you should keep like a dream journal, because you might get some kind of guidance at this time. If you have vague anxieties that you can't pinpoint, then all you have to do is say, oh, yeah, that's Mercury in the 12th. This too shall pass. And then you don't have to buy into it. That's the one beauty part of astrology, is that when you can see what these transits are, if you have like some unfounded fears or just like some weird things happening, you can trace it to astrological transits and know that it's temporary. And yes, I totally believe that we are the captains of our ship, and we are the ultimate people that can improve our circumstances. And you don't even have to know anything about astrology and the transits to do that. But I just think it helps. On the 13th, we have a full moon at 21 degrees of Capricorn. So this is going to be in a very practical area, the 6th house of health and work, or what I call work, service to others. To really bring it back to serving with humility, not inserting your ego into everything that you do, and looking for the reward versus first and foremost trying to help others. This is in an earth sign, Capricorn, in an earth house, Virgo. And so the work arena is definitely featured here. So the fact that you have Mars in the 10th, it doesn't escape me. Hasn't escaped me. This could be connected to that. And you want to be able to be a witness to whatever happens at this full moon. Whatever it means. It's not necessarily something for you to control. It's something for you to tune into. You may be at a point in a particular job where you feel that you have done all you can and you're ready to move on. And if you do have a conflict with a superior or supervisor, that can be just kind of par for the course, that it is something that is going to be like a catalyst, but not necessarily something to feel bad about. Because if you think about it, whenever people change something in their life that's a significant thing, whether it's a job, whether it is, and in this case, it could even be like, yeah, well, we'll just say like a job, or if it's a relationship, many times there's a conflict that precedes it. And the person, it's like the last straw, and the person says, I'm just tired of this. I can't take this anymore. And they just throw in the towel. And maybe later on they say, oh, I wish that person wouldn't have acted like that, because I really liked my job and I'm sad that I had to quit. I probably wouldn't have quit if they hadn't done that. But then later on from that time, when there has been a great deal of time, maybe years later, you look back and you see how it was in divine timing, how it was exactly how it should have been. I'm thinking in my own life, something where this occurred. And even years after I quit, I thought that it was unfair. I thought that they made me quit. I shouldn't have had to quit. If it wasn't for so-and-so, I would still be there. That would have been the thing. I look back now, after decades, and say that's like insane. It wasn't for my highest good. It was for a while, but not for for the time to come. So the same can be true for you, but for some people this may be a promotion. Maybe that's what that Mars energy is. You're trying to show your stuff and show what you've got so that you can get that promotion and you get it. On the 17th, Venus goes into Cancer. So now Venus is in your 12th house. Well, that can be secret love affair. One of the scenarios that I like to give is that for the first half of July, Venus is in the 11th house, and that's a house of friendships and groups. So there's every possibility, and this is coming from June, there's every possibility that something, maybe you meet someone through your group of friends, maybe they set you guys up, or you just happen to be out socializing and you meet this person. And then you start dating them, but you're keeping it quiet. Perhaps you don't want other people to know, in your social circle, to know about it, because you feel like, I want time to be able to explore this myself. I don't want my girlfriends giving their 2 cents about this person, and and maybe like downgrading him, telling me he's, I want to find out for myself who this person is. Venus in the 12th can be, if you're doing some kind of artistic project and you're doing it behind the scenes, and maybe you don't want to watch, but you don't want to tell other people what you're doing for whatever reason. On the 19th, Mercury goes into Leo. Oh, and one more thing about Venus in the 12th. I think you can meet your soulmate at that time, especially when you have that new moon. The new moon in Cancer was at the end of June, and I'm recording this before that time. I'm saying it in the past tense, but it hasn't happened yet. So that might be a catalyst for something as well. On the 19th, Mercury goes into Leo. So now Mercury is in your sign, Leo, and you're up to speed in terms of really being able to promote yourself. And there might be a reason that you need to do this. Maybe you're looking for work. Maybe you're looking for love, and you really want to communicate from a unified field. You don't want to be, I was going to say you don't want your brain to be asleep, but I'm joking, because Mercury in the 12th house doesn't mean that you're stupid. It means that your mind is working in a different way than you might normally be accustomed to. And it's much more about the intuition than about the linear thought, But now you can really, I feel like now you have the opportunity to be consistent with how you project your energy and the words that come out of your mouth. On the 22nd, the sun goes into Leo, so there's your sun sign. You're ruled by the sun too, so it gives you that extra oomph. And it's a great feeling when the sun goes into your sign, because you just start to feel that sense of your who you are in this lifetime being really emphasized, and especially for the sun sign in the sign. On the 28th, there's a new moon at 5 degrees of Leo. So what kind of intentions would you like to set for the upcoming 12 months, Leo? Those kinds of things can give you something to shoot for. New dreams, new goals. And like I said, there might even be artistic projects. And with Venus in the 12th house, you might be keeping them under your vest, but you still have them there. So it really looks like the tale of 2 months, where we have the first half with all that Cancerian energy, watery energy, and then we have the fire energy. So then it gets more active and less about the contemplation and all up in the feels and more into the passion and the ambition, the creativity. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double readings, my deep dive reading, which is a comprehensive look at your chart, an hour of natal chart analysis, and an hour of upcoming transits of the next 12 months. So that's called a deep dive. And then I have one with chart analysis and the tarot for people who want that, called the whole enchilada. And I have standalone readings too. The double readings are at a special price, by the way, because you're buying 2 of them at once. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.